But then I know I like Amazon packages. I like Amazon Prime. I like some of the videos that come on Amazon Prime. But I don't like Thursday night football on Amazon. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Y'all limited us to this one streaming network, but the games ain't good. Everything that when you think Amazon, you think good products. You like, look, I got Prime. I'm gonna get my packages in 2 days. If I don't got Prime, I got a credit system where I can still get my packages in almost 2 days. Meanwhile, you got the streaming service where I can watch some of my movies. I can go in there and watch Fast Five early. I can rent movies if I don't want to go to the movie theater. Some people still dealing with the COVID situation. But then I come on Thursday night and I'm like, okay, I got the Chiefs versus the Broncos. They suck. Then you go back last week, you got the Commanders versus the Bears. I mean, the Bears was trash. The product wasn't good, but the Bears is not good. So every Thursday night, it's just like, man, do I really want to tune in? Yes, because I love football. And we're going to talk about, was it swiftful thinking of letting EB go? Or was it swiftful thinking of the Broncos telling all their players they're going to get traded right before a game? So again, Thursday night strikes again in a game with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs offense are still trying to put everything together. They come out victorious and they defeat the Broncos 19-8. We got to talk about it because it's the Chiefs. So I'm gonna start with you, Dave. You started off with the show today. You debuted the doghouse. So you're gonna start it. You're gonna start the show off today and debut the swiftful thinking of Mahomes.
So I don't think the Chiefs should be worried. I don't think so. For one, this is a division game, and these games are always close between them and the Broncos. No matter that they've come out on top 15 straight times, it's just that this is a division game. This is what you expect. Look at the Niners versus the Rams. That was a close game. We only won the game by 7 points. Look at the Commanders versus the Eagles. That game was won by 3 points in overtime. It's a division game. It's going to happen. It's what you expect. Now you would expect the offense to be a lot better, but Patrick Mahomes is going to make these mistakes. He does this all the time. He takes a lot of chances. So he threw a pick in this game. His QBR wasn't really high. It was only 60.4, which is it's all right. It's not bad. His rating was 94.4. So I mean I don't know. But the offense, I'm not too worried about Patrick Mahomes. I think it's more so. I think they need to trade for a receiver. I think that's the biggest thing for them because they don't really have a true number one. I think the only number one they have is Kelsey, and Kelsey's a tight end, and he's hobbled right now. He's still dealing with a lot. He's still dealing with an ankle injury right now. But I'll tell you one thing I'm not worried about when it comes to the Chief is that defense. That defense is vastly improved. It definitely made me a believer now because I think me and Joe were the two people that was like, I don't, other than Chris Jones, or what else is this defense really good for? And they pretty much was like, well, we heard what y'all said, so we're gonna go out here and prove y'all wrong. And this defense is definitely really good, a lot better than I thought it was. And there's a lot of with the Broncos appearance to be cleaning the house. One of the players, one of the players that they cut actually was with the Chiefs last year, and that's Frank Clark. And a lot of people are believing that Frank Clark is going to go right back to the Kansas City Chiefs. And that will be pretty much a match made in heaven. He already knows the system. He's been there. He's a champion with the Kansas City Chiefs. So that would be good. My only thing about this is the Broncos definitely have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Uh, they allowed 4 sacks last night,
Bruh.
and that offensive line is just not good.
Bruh.
They thought they made some decisions when they went out and signed players like Mike McGlinchey, who used to be for San Francisco, and now offensive line was terrible because he was on that right side. Now he's gone. He's not an issue with us anymore, so he's now the Broncos issue. Um, Russell Wilson had probably his worst game of the season so far with only 95 passing yards, only 4 point yards a pass, one touchdown, 2 picks. Not good. QBR was a 10, 10.1 to be exact. And his quarterback grade was a 46.6, not even 50, not even 50. So that's bad all across the board. And then one receiver who actually had an issue with another receiver last night, and Jerry Judy only had 4 yards a catch, 3 catches for 14 yards. So he did not show up, even though he was healthy. So these are the players that teams really want to trade for. Like, are you really going to go and try to trade for Jerry Jeudy? How much are you going to give up for him?
You sure about that?
I think Cortland Sutton is probably the best receiver they have on the roster, so you could probably get a lot for him. But I wouldn't. If I'm a team and I'm trying to trade for Jerry Jeudy, I'm not giving up too much because for one, he doesn't stay healthy, and like Joe said yesterday on the show, it's not a sure thing that he's going to catch the ball either. So I'm not worried about the Kansas City Chiefs, but I think the message that was sent out to the Broncos that everybody's being traded was definitely a bad message. So they pretty much have given up on him.
Joe.
So look, I know. Let me address Dave's comment. All right, Dave said that me and Joe slept on the defense. This is what I said. I said without without Chris Jones, they're not winning the Super Bowl. They don't have
false accusation.
They don't have a big impactful player on that defense like a Chris Jones that can make a big difference like he could, that can help them get the Super Bowl. But I also said when the season started, I think Chris Jones, even before the season started, I said that this will be the best defense Patrick Mahomes ever played with. So I just want to say that. I want to make sure I clean myself up. Right? But anyways, that defense is legit. They are legit, man. They are a great defense. They've been playing great all year. See, the Chiefs are smart. This is what they did, y'all. All right? Patrick Mahomes comes in as a talented young player. He sits behind Alex Smith, and he sat there and learned. Came in at the end of the season against these very Broncos. And then the next year, they had Tyreek Hill, they had Kareem Hunt, they had Travis Kelce. They got weapons. And they go to 5 straight AFC championships, right? Within those 5 AFC championships, they get rid of Tyreek Hill. They let Nicole Hardman walk. They let guys walk. They ain't signing no veterans at the receiver position. We keep asking the Chiefs, get D-Hop, get Odell, get this player. And they ain't looking at none of them. You know what they focus on? They focus on having one of the best offensive lines in the NFL and focus on having one of the best defenses in the NFL. And their mindset is, as long as we have Kelce out there for Mahomes and Andy Reid calling the plays, we trust Patrick Mahomes enough to get the job done. Kind of sounds like another quarterback named Tom Brady. When they didn't go out and get another receiver, they went out and made sure he had a good offensive line, a good defense, and a tight end, right? And the play caller. So they putting all their trust in Patrick Mahomes. He's taking less money so that they're able to do these things. And like you said, Dave, Frank Clark is now a free agent, and he's likely to sign with the Chiefs. That's even better. So the Chiefs are going to be okay. They're going to build more chemistry with these receivers as the season goes on. And I mean, I'm not worried about the offense. I would rather worry about the offense right now than the defense. Let me say that. And right now, I'm not worried about the defense. I'm worried about the offense. So they are in better situations. Usually, when they were in their last slump a few years ago, the offense was clicking, but the defense was getting killed. We was like, Now the Broncos. Well, before I go forward, right? I want to play a clip, right? I saw this today. I was like, okay, let's get it. This is pretty good. I literally saw this right before we came on the show. Now I want to play this clip right here. All right, don't worry, it ain't Jimmy Butler's hairdo. All right.
Trust me.
Now that would have been funny.
I'd have walked over the show if he did it.
I want to play this clip right here. Listen to this, y'all. Oh man, the sound is so low. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right, we're going. It's everybody. Just turn your ears up. All right, listen to this.
Serious question: do you think they miss Bieniemy? And I know he's good. I know you like him and he's good.
Yeah, maybe valuable. A little.
But is that some of what's going on?
I think where I think Bieniemy where they really miss him, he has more of a get in your face factor when they're kind of going through the motions than Matt Nagy, certainly than Andy Reid. And so there is a level of, I think, you know what I mean, snapping into that.
Let's get it. So, shout out to the Couriers. Ain't that what the Couriers said? No drop one on passes. He was like, no, see, they can't hear it. They can't hear it. Basically, he said, do you think they miss Eric Bieniemy? He said, I think at this point where he's more of a I'm going to get in your face type coach. You know, he's a non-nonsense type coach. When they said that that sound on the door with the Commanders about do your job, that was Eric Bieniemy. When the Couriers, let me get the Couriers some props. When they were dropping all the passes week 1, and he was like, man, if Eric Bieniemy was there, they want me going on. And then I was like, he would have got Tony Face and said, boy, you better catch the ball. Talk about that stuff matters. I was telling Mark today, I think Ron Rivera is too nice. And Eric Bieniemy is the complete opposite of Ron Rivera, but it's not about the Commanders. I just want to get it out there. And last thing I want to say about this, with the Broncos, Russell Wilson played bad, y'all. I've been praising him all year. The first 2 drives on him. On 4th down, you're going to just take a sack? On 4th and 2, not even getting a pick with a chance. And then the second drive, you go right to Nick Bolton. But the defense showed yesterday. I ain't worried about the Chiefs, but the Broncos, man, we already know about them. We talked about them yesterday. Hell's the Commanders, by the way. Shout out to Eric Bieniemy.
Man, do we want to talk about the Broncos, or do we want to talk about how the Chiefs were struggling in the red zone? They were 1-5 in the red zone. Or do we want to look at it like Dave said, this is a rivalry game, so you kind of know your rivals like the back of your hand, you know, or you kind of know the schemes because you see them twice, so it's more film out there, and you look at it like that? Or do we want to talk about EB not being there, again, with the play calling? Or do we want to talk about how some of these wide receivers can't really get open on the Chiefs unless Travis Kelce is sitting in the zone and then he pitches the ball to another tight end and things like that? Or do we want to talk about how Jerry Jeudy is running down on announcers now who are ex-NFL players and telling them, like, I'm mad you talked about me on your podcast, when they technically was just telling you, hey, be a better player? Like, we want to talk about that sensitive stuff? Or do we want to talk about Russell Wilson going to the sideline saying, I told y'all it wasn't me. I told y'all it wasn't me? Or do we want to talk about how New Orleans Saints are looking back and saying, we told y'all it was Drew Brees carrying them this whole time and y'all thought it was him? Or do we just want to talk about football? Like,
Not nervous.
I'm just saying, this, when you're watching this, it's like, man, that's a lot going on right now. But then some people are saying, like, hey, the Chiefs, they're just bored with the regular season. You know, like when you've been dominant for so long, it's just hard for you to like get into the regular season. And I found it funny when I heard that, because then I look back and I remember 2 or 3 plays from Chris Jones, and he was sitting there, and there was moments where he was just standing there like, we really blitzing? All right. And then he got down in the stance, and then he like barely tried to attack the quarterback. Then they did it again. He's like, they really playing? Then he got down again. Then you look at the one play where Mahomes ran to the sideline and got the first down. The cornerback looks at Tony, looks at Mahomes, and said, I'm going to make a business decision, and runs into the wide receiver instead of trying to tackle Mahomes. So it's just like, did they really want to play this game?
That looked like it was scripted to me. I ain't gonna lie.
The whole world was like, why didn't he even attempt to like dive at Mahomes? He just looked at him and said, all right, bump. It's like this, I don't know. Thursday night was insane. The NFL may be actually running with this idea that they are scripted. You know, Vince McMahon may be up in one of them offices saying, look, this is how you do it. You got to come up with a heel. You get your heel, then you get your star, then you get that one other person who people really don't know. So I'm trying to figure out who's the Kurt Angle of the NFL right now. Like, I'm trying to figure that out.
Not the Kurt Angle.
But right now, we know who the Stone Cold Steve Austins are, and they sitting right next to me, Dave, because y'all here just thinking you know what and keeping it going. And that's the bottom line. But for me, it's Thursday night. These teams don't really take Thursday night too serious. I don't think the Chiefs are really like, I wouldn't be worried about them. Like, you can't be worried about a team that's been to 5 AFC championships, 3 Super Bowls to talk about it, you know? Like, but that's just me.
Hey, Blake Krangle is good. He was hated. Nobody liked Krangle.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Tomo what wrong, and what he said, he actually meant that.
I can understand Kurt Angle, but he was great.
Is Kurt Angle the Cowboys?
Nah, Kurt Angle was a winner though. I'm sorry. No respect to the Cowboys. He told me, man, you just had to be the person taking the hits for the Cowboys, bro.
You know what? That's all right. Somebody going down with me. Kurt Angle, the Patriots.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example. He is.
Man, but yeah, that's just where I take it, man. Nobody don't know. It's true. It's true. But we can get into these picks unless y'all want to give a special message to Andy Reid. Y'all want to give a special message to Andy Reid?
I mean, they should.
Take over the play call and stop giving it to Matt Nagy.
I mean, no. He called the plays. That's what they say. You know, he called the plays. Matt Nagy ain't calling the plays. He's doing all the work. That's what I heard.
I wasn't serious when I said that.
Because I didn't publicly hear a speech and him saying he gave it to Matt Nagy, so I can't assume. So, you know.
Hey, you never know, right? Well, speak.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.